I want to talk with you today about facing somebody who just throws hands, essentially a boxer. If you're up against somebody who is just going to come with these two weapons, how do you go about defeating them? Because, in my opinion, hands are so very dangerous. I have crafted much of my career, the big wins that I've had, around having better hands than my opponent, putting that boxing on them. Now you could be at the gym and just have somebody who loves to throw lots and lots of hands. They throw in the occasional kick. You could even have somebody who's just a boxer. They only know how to throw hands and they come in and they're just outside that kicking range, and when they step in, they're here and they're so good at backing up as you try to move forward, and they're so good at moving forward as you try to back up. You're feeling jammed, you're feeling overwhelmed, and you're wondering what the strategies are to defeat these guys. I'm going to list out a few of them for you today. And as I always say on the channel, when we have a topic that we're looking at, we could spend so long. I could make a whole seminar, a whole 2-hour seminar out of this subject today. And I would not run out of information to share. We're going to condense it down and pick a couple of the most important points, a few, maybe even 4 of the most important points. So the very first thing that we need to have an answer for is, how are we going to deal defensively with these shots? Now, we could of course spend lots of time running around trying to stay at a punching range, but that gets exhausting. And you can only do it for so long. Footwork only lasts for so long. At some point, you are going to have to engage. So we're looking past the footwork and we're focusing on that element of time. When we get to this position where we're going, oh my gosh, this guy's got me cornered, or I decide to stand my ground, we're going to need some sort of defense, some sort of guard. Now, just falling in here and getting to the high guard and staying there and hoping he doesn't land before I can create some more distance, it's not a great idea, in my opinion, because this guy's used to this distance. He excels here. I do not excel. So as soon as this guy starts coming into this distance, I'm looking to do one thing, in my opinion, and one thing only. I'm looking to stick out a long guard. Boom, I could do it with my knee up, potentially still, so I still have that front kick there. I'm going long guard. I'm maintaining connection, or creating that connection by sliding in, and then I'm coming to my clench. Of course, if you can keep things longer, that's ideal. As somebody who's going, yeah, I don't necessarily want to throw hands with this guy who's already throwing hands at me. So as soon as they step in, I'm not looking to go here, take a couple shots, and then reach, because it's this reach point that is very dangerous. Obviously, I'm over embellishing how low my shoulders would be and how high my jaw is. It would be more like this. But still, there's that moment of danger. But once you make connection with somebody, it either means you've hit them in the face with that long guard, which is going to stop him from effectively throwing well, because he's going to be trying to throw with something pushing his neck back. That's hard to do. Or he's going to take that split second to cover up. When he covers up on the approach, I maintain that connection, pushing with pressure as I move forward. So he feels like, okay, there's still a threat. He keeps this position. I'm pushing, and then when I get close enough, I'm wrapping up. Now from here, there's a whole new element, a whole new game, because he can absolutely have his head pulled down, be caught in the plum, and still be firing off shots. That's a very real threat. How are you going to counter that or take that away from him? Well, once you get to here, the first thing that we're looking to do is to make sure he is not strong and stable. His back is straight and he's upright. That's terrible. So I'm collapsing his neck. See how I did it there? I have these forearms into the chest. I'm pulling downwards. The higher I can get on the head while still maintaining this arm or forearm position, the better. Down here, it's hard to collapse their neck. Up here, it's very easy. I have one hand on top of the other, and I keep my head buried to his head, because the more distance I have, the easier it is for him to land a shot. So I keep it buried. I almost like to put my head into my own bicep, so I'm protected. His head on one side is protecting me. My bicep on the other side is protecting me for the most part. And then from there, I'm going to create a little bit of distance in my hips drag him forward, and then I can break that head connection and start laying in those knees. If he decides he wants to throw hands as I knee, I'm okay with that. I'll keep my chin tucked, my head forward, I'll take a couple shots, and I will absolutely annihilate those ribs. I do body conditioning, guys, before a fight. I have to be ready for shots here. So I have somebody with gloves on hit me in the stomach. I'll even put my arms up and have people throw some round kicks to the side. I never have somebody grab my head and start laying in knees because it's such a small striking surface area and it's so hard. And it's so hard to take those shots. So if you have a choice between throwing the punches and throwing the knees, take throwing the knees. Absolutely. I would take that any day of the week. So I'm here. He gets within a distance that I don't like. Maybe all of a sudden I'm going, uh-oh, he throws one shot. I just get to here. I just bury my head, get to here, and I close that distance. I'm right away collapsing down, dragging back, and that can all happen within half a second to a second. That's what I'm looking to do initially. Now, if for some reason I'm going, this guy, he's more probing with the jab. He's taking his time. That's fine for me. I need to neutralize the threat of him moving past this zone and getting into here. How am I going to go about doing that? I need to either target his leg, or I need to be ready with this lead leg to slam in body round kicks or teep that stomach. Those three techniques in themselves are going to make things very, very dangerous for him, make him hopefully not want to commit as much, but he's going to constantly be trying to pressure forward, because he's going to be going, look, this is the kicking range. I don't want to be there. He wants to get to this punching range. What can I do to make him think he is in the punching range, but he's not really? Watch this. My hands are up. This is my normal stance. I tip my head forward just a little bit. Just a little bit. We saw Superlek do this when he fought Takaru. Now, what does this do? It leaves us in kicking range, but makes this guy think he's being effective with his punches. And he doesn't need to close the distance anymore and jam us. Now, from here, I can keep this high guard up, tip forward. Yes, I'll be taking some shots, but at the same time, I can be hitting him here, blasting him there. Sure, I could be probing my jab and coming to that. That one little element of just going, okay, you can go ahead, as opposed to here where they're going to be trying to break through my kicking range and jam me, which leaves me having to always back up. I love this when I face somebody who has better hands, or I go, I just want to play the kicker today in sparring scenarios, which I do sometimes. I change my style and I go, I want to try this. Just tip forward. Still weight is on the back leg, and I'm ready to fire, I'm ready to teep, and I'm ready to round kick. Of course, I can still throw hands, but that strategy in itself is a great one to put this guy in a false punching range where he thinks I'm doing a good job with distancing and this other guy has already messed up. He thinks we messed up. We didn't. So I think we'll just do those two tactics today on how to deal with that puncher. Of course, we can elaborate, but that's two things for you to work on. And I think that's enough. This could be for anybody in your gym who has boxing background, or anybody in your gym who just throws 70, 80% hands. And they can get the better of you when they let those hands go. Of course, one of the best ways to deal with a boxer is to establish your own good boxing defense. If you're scared of hands, you're going to always feel that threat. But as soon as you go, okay, this guy throws 3 punches and I'm going, I don't care, and I come back with my own kick, all of a sudden it doesn't feel quite as awkward or difficult or scary to deal with. Let's call it, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you back here very soon.